Hello, welcome. I'm Deborah Sword. Let's talk about the expression agree to disagree. That's what we say when we start a topic, realize we're on different sides, and drop the conversation to avoid unpleasant confrontations over our choice. You like the Panthers? No way, man. It's Oilers. And at that point, we better agree to disagree, or something similar to that. But let's take a more serious example from politics, because I understand that's creating a lot of controversy among friends and relatives these days. Let's say there's an election approaching, and I'm discussing the candidates with a friend who's going to vote for someone I would never want elected. What are my options? If I want there to be a satisfactory conversation that preserves our relationship, but isn't just superficial. I could try to win my friend's vote over to my choice of candidate. I would boost my candidate's good qualities and talk about their candidate's lack of good qualities. But I do hear that relationships are ending over that approach. Persuasion can give my friend the impression that I hold a diminished view of them and their thinking, which is kind of bad for relationships. Maybe my persuasion works and my friend's vote switches to my candidate. Or maybe my friend just tells me that to stop me from talking. Or my friend then expects me to listen while they try to persuade me. Or we have that blowout. Or we agree to disagree. At its basic, the expression agree to disagree is useful to conclude a conversation without a conclusion. You haven't persuaded me, I haven't persuaded you. You still believe I'm wrong, I still believe you're wrong, but we aren't going to battle it out. We'll agree to disagree on who's wrong. What that means, in other words, we leave the topic on a note of blame and judgment. In this frame, agreeing to disagree sounds like a way to keep the relationship going by not having an unnecessary blowout. But is that all there is to it? There's a lot to consider in conversations that end without concluding. What if agreeing to disagree reduces the quality of the relationship? What if the expression can mean, I don't consider your opinion important enough to think about? Or your friend or relative interprets that expression as you saying that you think their opinion is too dumb or trivial or uninformed to pay attention to. What if I or my friend continue the relationship, but it doesn't feel quite the safe and loving space it once was? Now I withhold, I censor, and I have opinions that I won't share with my friend. It's a more limited relationship, which is okay, but it didn't used to be that way. We start to think that we've grown apart or outgrown each other. If we really value the relationship, maybe we don't want to grow apart and prefer a way to prevent it. Agree to disagree might not be the best option. So instead of going for persuasion or agreeing to disagree or fighting it out, I'd first try conflict competence. This time, what I want is to understand my friend's vote for their choice of candidate. I ask questions and listen to the answers without getting judgmental or defensive. Maybe I'm still not persuaded. Maybe my vote still goes for the candidate of my first choice. Maybe I get persuaded. Maybe I think about switching my vote. Whatever happens, I come away with a better sense of what my friend finds noteworthy in their candidate. And I leave them with the impression that I care about their opinion. I listen to their arguments, and I'm a safe place for them to talk about it. I conclude the conversation with a summary that's more insightful than agreeing to disagree. Again, leaving the impression that I care about my friend. So, say, for example, I say, oh, I get what you find appealing and the reason you like that candidate. More importantly, I see what you fear about my candidate. Maybe you've given me some questions for me to take to my candidate for clarification. And I will conclude by saying, you've helped me understand the divide between our candidates. Maybe we find there's less that divides us than we think exists. Thank you for listening. I hope you will subscribe to our podcast, like and share it, and come back for more tips on owning your conflict.